turn to intersection of the climate crisis and entertainment. The fourth annual Hollywood Climate Summit kicks off today, and Sarah Pilla joins us live with more. And she is just in her theater glory today. We love the backdrop. Sarah, break down what's going on.
I am in my glory. Thank you so much, Autumn. And that's because I'm here on the Samuel Goldwyn Theater stage at the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. Now, this is where the Hollywood Climate Summit will take place. As you mentioned, it is in its fourth year. And this will feature panels and workshops and all sorts of events that will unite Hollywood and climate organizations and scientists all together to figure out ways and share ideas on how to effectively communicate the climate crisis in their storytelling. And we're talking about ways to move really beyond the apocalyptic storylines and doomsday scenarios that, we're so familiar with in film and TV. And how can we actually weave in the realities of the climate crisis that we're dealing with in present day? It's what I spoke with the co-founder of the Hollywood Climate Summit, as well as one local studio here in Los Angeles that's using comedy to raise awareness about the climate emergency. Take a look.
Money. It was there when you and your trusty bicycle got your first job as a paperboy.
This may seem like an ad, but it's actually a mock commercial about climate change. And it was made here at Yellow Dot Studios in Hollywood, where managing director Stacey Roberts Steele is hoping that comedy, like this spoof on corporate greed, will grab your attention to the climate emergency.
Getting people on board where they actually understand it and and then hopefully that people can start to make a change, and then in turn, legislators can make a change and companies can start making changes.
Yellow Dot Studios is a nonprofit climate media company that's a product of director Adam McKay's Hyperobject Industries, the same house behind the 2021 disaster comedy Don't Look Up, about a life-ending comet as a metaphor for the climate crisis. Yellow Dot's content is shared via social media, with posts ranging from comedic videos to memes targeting politicians and big oil.
A big part of Yellow Dot is, calling out the oil CEOs that are thinking more about profits opposed to our planet.
Yellow Dot launched earlier this year and is an example of how the film and TV business can include climate storytelling in entertainment. It's what Ali Weinstein hopes the industry will create more of as co-founder of the Hollywood Climate Summit that's focusing on this topic at its annual conference this week.
The reality is every single person on Earth has a story about the climate crisis. Everyone is experiencing it from the day to day, but we are not seeing that on screen.
The fourth annual multi-day summit brings thousands of media, entertainment, and climate professionals together across panel discussions, workshops, and community events. Ali hopes attendees who work in Hollywood and in climate will be inspired to incorporate what they learn into their work.
You both can be communicating the work that you're doing in the climate space more effectively, which is kind of what Hollywood brings into it. And then for Hollywood, no matter where you work, you can integrate these climate movements and actions into your day-to-day job.
While the Hollywood Climate Summit hopes to shift the film and TV culture, Yellow Dot Studios hopes their efforts will change climate culture globally.
It's been really fun to just kind of see the feedback and being surprised about the people that suddenly care that we didn't even know cared about climate,
Because storytelling has the power to create change and motivate action on the most pressing issues of our time. So now I'm getting the view from the audience perspective, and you can also get this chance as well because the Hollywood Climate Summit is open to the public. Tickets are still available. You can go to HollywoodClimateSummit.com. And Autumn, I did just want to mention, too, that after speaking with Ali and really talking about the fact that climate change doesn't necessarily have to be the focal point of stories. It can be the backdrop and how we weave in what we are dealing with currently. Things like the weather events, the atmospheric rivers that we dealt with this winter, wildfires, as we know. How do characters and stories that live in California deal with that and impact them in their lives? Back to you.
Right, it's kind of hard to ignore it, so we have to kind of wrap it into our stories to make it a little more realistic since it's such a big part of our lives here in 2023. So is climate storytelling really lagging in Hollywood, Sarah?
So speaking with both Allie and Stacey, they say that there's progress being made, but there is a long way to go. And they also cite a report that was released last fall by the storytelling consulting firm Good Energy in partnership with USC that analyzed scripts over a 5-year period from 2016 to 2020. These are over 37,000 scripts that they scanned for specific climate-related keywords, things like global warming, solar panels, renewable energy. And they only found that less than 3% of scripts actually mentioned any of these types of terms. So there's definitely a long way to go, especially when you consider that this is a global phenomenon that's impacting all of us. Like you said, we need to see it weaved in a realistic way of what we're dealing with currently.
Well, I think I found our new venture, Sarah. I think we're going to be filmmakers in the next couple of years. Clearly, there's a void that needs to be filled. Thanks so much, Sarah. It is the first day of summer, and I got your full forecast coming up. I think you're going to like it. This is your morning on Spectrum News 1.